after 2018, this boom has started. Earlier it was data science, now it is
Hmm.
AI. It's very good. Like the youngsters like you guys are so enthusiastic from your college days. You are doing this podcast or trying to know about more about data science. My responsibility is to deliver end-to-end solutions for my company, right?
Hello everyone. Today we have with us Subhodeep Mukherjee, a data scientist too at Amazon and an expert in advanced analytics and machine learning. With a strong background in statistical modeling and problem solving, he has worked across multiple domains, including his previous role at Citi. Welcome to the podcast, Subhodeep. Let's deep dive into data science and artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
so can you share your journey and a more expanded introduction?
Yeah, sure, sure. So my name is Subhodeep Mukherjee. I have done masters in statistics from Calcutta University, which is in Kolkata, and I hail from Kolkata as well. So after I have done my masters, then I joined a startup in Bangalore. I got it through my off-campus placements, and so the company name is Rainman Consulting. The company works mostly in the CPG, FMCG, and market mix modeling background. And there, I joined there as an analyst. So specifically at that moment, data science was not as popular as we can see today, or this name was not there. Okay, so then a business analyst have to do a work of a data analyst or a data scientist, everything. Okay, so today it is very different. Like business analysts work on BI part only, but at our moment, everything we need to do. Okay, from end to end. So there, I started my career with that company. It was a great experience. I stayed for 11 months, and then I moved into my second company, which is called ITC Infotech. So ITC I joined as the one of the first data scientists in India, because that position was one of the first positions in India. Okay, data scientist, and it was the role was called as associate data scientist. So I joined there, and there it was a very nice and very enriching experience. It was like a cross domain experience. So there were different teams, and whenever the any team needed any business support or science support, which we can do, so we used to roped in, and then we have to understand the problem and then research, do a lot of research, find out the right methodology and implement them. So there I first got introduced to machine learning, as well as the most of the recent state of art techniques like deep learning,
So
machine learning, NLP,
yes.
all those.
So what was the year back then?
It was 2016.
Okay,
Okay,
26. That's
2016.
that's
Yeah,
very much ago. I mean, yeah.
yeah, very much ago. Yeah, and that moment, like machine learning, nobody was thinking about. They were mostly using some traditional statistical models like clustering, logistic regression. At that moment, we were using XGBoost or random forest. Okay, even collaborative filtering, recommendation engines we used to use build. So it was a very nice experience. I got it from my seniors, as well as I myself researched a lot, and we used to, for since most of the art state of art techniques were not there, you need to research a lot, like read research papers and then implement that for real life. So that was a great experience. So then around 2018, I joined in City. So and as an again as an analyst. Okay, so there also that data science position was not very popular. So again, same thing, because banks are little traditional. So but again, my task was to implement machine learning for the company. Okay, well, for the first time. Okay, because my team was then trying out something, but they were hired me because I had machine learning implementation background, and I implemented. And my task was to implement for the first time for the vertical. Nobody has built any ML model, so it was me who was given that task to build it. So I have spent a lot of time. So I built. So there was a very good mix of, there was modeling, there was strategic work, there was data analysis work, dashboarding work. Even there are some work we have done on measurement of different campaigns, where we have included some ML models there also. And after that, I moved into my current organization, Amazon, where I have been currently working for more than 3.5 years. So in Amazon, obviously, it's a purely data science role. I'm a mid-senior level data scientist. And here my role is to develop ML solutions, which can be utilized for maintaining different equipments or machines in Amazon. So we are automating the entire maintenance activity. So the machines are getting data from different sensors. We are analyzing that and creating different strategies for the machine maintenance using ML algorithms.
Okay, that's great. I mean, yeah. So when did you graduate exactly?
2015.
2015. That
2015.
was a long ago. And
Yeah.
what degree you
Yeah, I
pursued
have
that
done,
back then?
yeah, yeah, masters in statistics,
Okay, master in statistics and
MSc.
okay, MSc you have done. That's good. I mean, why did you choose master in statistics to do at the first place? What motivated you to pursue data as
Okay.
a career?
So, okay. So thing see means as I can tell you that I have never thought of becoming a data scientist, or
Mm.
that these roles were not there, or AI, or
Mhm.
where
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
landing up. I didn't know. So specifically, I was a mathematics enthusiast. Okay. So from my school days only, I liked mathematics a lot. So I had in my 11th, 12th standard, and I from Calcutta, I went for state board. Okay, I just
Mm.
got from a state board. So in state board, you can take up an additional subject. Okay, and I took statistics there. So statistics is offered by state boards. Okay, so then I thought that okay, that I knew, and I talked with some of my teachers that they told me that you have a very good love for mathematics, but going forward, mathematics little bit in the higher stages it loses
Mm.
application. It becomes either you have to go with applied mathematics, which is more physics oriented, little physics oriented, and I didn't like physics, by the way.
Mm.
And there is another thing, otherwise you go with core mathematics, pure mathematics, which is little less application oriented. Okay, so that's why I chose statistics, because statistics was also something I was studying parallelly, and I was seeing that that's a very good application of mathematical concepts. So then I started reading. So then for my BSc, my graduation, I filled forms for both maths and stats, and I got statistics honors from Narendra Ramakrishna Mission College, in which is in Kolkata again. And obviously, after that, the next path will come into mathematics, masters in statistics. So that was my thought process. I was not thinking about data. I was not thinking about data science at that moment. It was only like love for mathematics that has put me in this one.
So you perceived your love for mathematics and that gradually transformed into love for data, love for machine learning along the years, I guess.
Correct, correct, correct. So when I first started liking, so frankly speaking, my masters also I lose little bit of interest in statistics also on my masters for some reasons. But when I joined my job, right, then I saw that real life application of this. So and I told you, like whenever there is an application, right, then that is something I love. Okay. So when I saw that, okay, this is driving business, this is life driving. So in my first company, I've told you I was working with some of the big FMCG companies in India. Okay, one of the biggest FMCG companies. And so when I thought, okay, whatever I am doing, that is getting translated. So suppose I recommended an advertisement using my model, that, and then I saw that that companies exactly implemented that model, and that advertisement is showing up in the television, so you feel very proud, like that you are impacting human life some way, right? So
Yeah.
that really I liked. So then I thought, okay, I was frankly speaking, I was little weak in coding. Okay, when I started, because I came from a non-tech, so-called non-tech background, from
So
a
called.
mathematics background, right? So then I thought, okay, I need to put time on this, because if I need to stay here, I really liking it from a theoretical standpoint, but I need to learn coding. So then I started thinking on the lines of a computer science, because earlier I have very little exposure to computers and computer science things. So then I thought, okay, then it's fine. Then when I joined, obviously ITC, I saw the whole world of Kaggle and machine learning, and through my seniors, I'm grateful to them. So they showed me the path, and then I got more interest. And even today, you have generative AI, and also it is always a good learning curve.
So I have a question. If someone is in their college in 2025, what advice you can give to them if someone is starting out their data science journey, someone is starting out their AI journey. I mean, now the roles have been defined. There is a
Hmm.
strict term for data science. Earlier it was not like this. Before
Right.
ChatGPT, before 2020, so all that, before 10 years, it was not like that. But now the role has been defined, that it is data scientist. So what advice can you give the beginners,
Yeah, I
those who
think now
want to?
it's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Shodadeep. So I think it's very good. Youngsters like you guys are so enthusiastic from your college days. You are doing this podcast or trying to know about more about data science. Right? That is very nice because we were not serious at as well serious in our college days. We used to do some other activities, which is it has nothing to do with this. Okay. So yeah, so today I think, and this has a lot of these things have been developed after the internet innovation, right? The internet, when internet is today is very easily available. At our times internet was not as available or as cheaper, right? So a lot of what I will suggest is from a student so whenever the person is a student, right? So he should start, if he's a data science enthusiastic, he can start learning the concepts, okay, and even practicing. Just like SQL is a very important concept for learning analytics, right? Any analytics role you want, you're a data science AI engineer or business analyst, right? All of this. So now for SQL, we have learned SQL after joining job, which was little tough for us to learn at that moment because we need to deliver and all. So if a student starts learning that SQL from only their college days, right, and they can practice in platforms like Lead Code or Hacker Rank, okay, and and whenever they will practice, they're going to get badges, okay. So then the badges will be they can add their badges in their resume. So by the time they pass out, right? So they have good achievement, okay, and that will help them in getting a job. Again, another thing is like Kaggle, okay, Kaggle competitions, okay. It is very helpful. People can see what, not only that they compete and they get good ranks, they can also see what the data scientists throughout the world are doing, okay. It's a very good exposure. So even going through a Kaggle kernel or Kaggle datasets or just going through the website will help a lot. But if somebody who is a data science enthusiast, right, he can specifically start doing some competitions, okay, and from there they can see what are the different state of the art methods that is used in the market, and then they can learn about them from internet, right? So that's a very good way of learning. And if somebody gets good Kaggle ranks, okay, they also have a very good edge in terms of getting job, okay, because these are very widely used things, okay. So the advice is like, and obviously one more thing, that since it has different flavors, a data science is not only coding, like a lot of people perceive it as only coding, but it has also a lot of mathematics, it's a lot of theory also, so they need to run both. So sometimes what I have seen while talking to people, that people that they lose sometimes interest, our like the coding to समझ में आ रहा है, but I'm not getting the math, or the vice versa. Math I am very good, but not good in coding. So this balance you need to make some way. So you need to be very conscious about it. Don't lose that patience. Okay, the guys who are doing coding for the first time, it will be overwhelming. So they should remember that it is also overwhelming for us. So for me personally, it was very overwhelming at the beginning. So these things definitely they should keep in the mind.
Okay. So, what projects can you suggest for a beginner to who is trying to enter into data science that they can make to highlight on their resume?
Okay, I will say this is a very good point, and here I will want to give some ideas that sometimes when I have seen people as trying to do projects, they will always try to define the problem statement first. Okay, and then they try to do the same projects for search the data and all the things, and most of the time they will not either get the data, and either will they will if they get data, then it's not a good data, and the project ends over there. Okay, so I will always suggest the reverse. See, any project is good. Okay, whichever interests a person, that is fine. So they can pick up a particular section of machine learning. So there are different sections, like a traditional machine learning, right, where you are using either classification or regression. Then there is computer vision, where you will be dealing with mostly images or videos. And
Videos.
there is another one, which is the NLP. which is dealing with mostly with text, right? So they can pick up any one or two or three, any of these three streams. Okay. Now they should go into two websites. I will suggest. One is called UCI Machine Learning Library, and the second one is called Kaggle Datasets. Okay. These two websites contains huge repository of data, and all type of data you will find out. It can contain images, it can contain text, it can contain structured data like an Excel data, everything. All this kind of data is there. Now pick up any data that they want, that is interesting to them, okay, to the people, to the person, and start building a problem. And even in those places, actually, it is written that what are the different purposes that data set can be used, like whether the data set can be used for clustering or classification or time series analysis. All these things are written, so they can now pick up any task from there and the data set, because the data set will be clean, and then start ramping up any project. It is fine, only 2 to 3 projects what they are writing, that should be good enough.
Yeah, that's great. So, what are your day-to-day responsibilities? I mean, what is your life at Amazon?
Okay. So it is nothing fancy. First
Yeah.
of all, it is very little hectic actually. So things are, since I'm a mid senior level data scientist, so my responsibilities is to deliver end to end solutions for my company, right? So obviously I need to talk with the stakeholders, get problem statements, then build solutions out of those problem statements. And that is the, by the way, that's the fancy part, but that is only 20 to 30%. I will give you very frankly, that is 20 to 30% will be development. Okay. The remaining will be the maintenance, getting money out of it, doing ad hoc analysis to support your, because you will get questions from different stakeholders. Okay. So you need to prove your results. And in Amazon, the culture is that everybody will challenge you. Okay. That every time you will face challenges. Okay. It can be people from your team, it can be people from others' team. So these people will be always challenging you. So you need to defend them. So you need to do a lot of analysis, build dashboards. Okay. Do the ad hoc deep dives, and then if some challenge obviously is serious, right, so then you need to again redesign your product and maybe put some features. So again, that is again little part of development. So it is a cycle. Okay. Development, feedback, analysis, development, feedback, analysis, in that way it goes on. Okay. So we are so our work caters around this. And obviously if your solution is very good, right, so then it is scaling also. That, so suppose you scale it for one region, then you, because Amazon is in throughout the world, it's a global company, so you
Mm.
build it maybe for North America first, then you scale it to Japan, then you scale it to India, then you scale it to other countries. So it depends on the team. Obviously my team is a global team, so we also are responsible for scaling up our parts with different people. So, and there will be product managers also. They will envision on the business side. So talking to them on how to put new features and all. So you are the technical SME. So a person who joins in Amazon or Google or big product companies as a scientist, they are the technical SME. So nobody is going to help. So any technical step the team is supposed to get it from you. That is you need to decide, and you are the only person who does that stuff.
Yeah, that's great. So, what was the interview process like when you appeared for Amazon, when you applied for Amazon?
Okay.
What was the,
So
yeah,
see, most of the thing is that not only for Amazon, for most of the big companies, okay, you will. So there is first is a screening round. Okay, so first is screening round. So it can be either is there an interview, okay, or it can be an online test. Okay, depends now on the company. So for Amazon, we usually take an interview. We call it phone screen. It has specifically there are all the questions from your projects that you have in your resume, or the technical abilities, the machine learning concepts and coding. Everything will be asked. The coding for data scientists, we usually ask questions on Python. For business analyst or other roles, we usually ask questions from SQL. Okay, so that will be there. So if you pass that round, then only you are eligible for the other rounds of interviews.
okay,
So then it breaks up. So there is one thing, it's called an hiring manager, which will be like your projects and case studies. The second one will be data science. For data scientists, it is data science depth. One is data science breadth. Okay, so one round of data science breadth, they will evaluate you across multiple concepts. Data science depth is like they will pick up one concept or two concepts and they can go in deep. So you need to know the backend mathematics and all those things. Then you have one coding. Okay, again, it can be on Python and SQL, anything of them. And then one is behavioral. Okay, so this 4 5 rounds, and this happens parallelly. People from different uh, verticals usually join, and then they will um, take the rounds, and finally they will vote for you. So based on the voting, the person gets selected. So that is
Okay.
most more or less not only the method for rounds of interviews for Amazon, but that happens for other companies as well. Other big product companies like Microsoft, Google also you will see almost similar kind of structure.
Yeah, so related to coding the first round, so how much DSA was required to pass the coding round?
Okay, this is also a good thing, and this I can only comment for Fang or Mang companies. Okay, I will not comment for startups because I've seen different things. Okay, uh, there are two roles. Okay, one is a data scientist role, and the other one is an ML engineer role. So ML engineer is the highest. Okay, so then they not only create the model or the data science framework, but they also create softwares out of it. Okay, deployment we call it in terms of the technicalities. We call it deployment. So they deploy the model as well. So for a data scientist, even in fact in Amazon or Google or any like big companies, it is not mandatory. Okay, it is not at all mandatory. The thing is, but still interviewers might ask questions on DSA, one or two. But now think about it that for DSA, one problem can be solved through hash maps, and the same problem can be solved through loops. Now, loops is the most inefficient way. Hash maps can be the most
Yeah.
efficient way, right? So now, even if you for a data scientist role, right, the interviewer will always expect that you, if you even if you solve the problem through loops, okay, then it is fine. Hash maps is a good to know for you. In it's like a exceed expectations. Okay, so that is the thing. But mostly that is not asked. That means it should not be asked. Okay, but if anybody is applying for an ML engineer role, right,
Yeah.
then DSA bar is must. Okay,
Okay.
so then they
Okay.
should practice DSA problems from Hacker Rank or Lead Code before going into the interview. They should have a regular practice thing from Hacker Rank or Lead Code. Otherwise, they will not be able to, because they are hash. If a problem is solved by hash maps, they need to solve it by hash maps. So that is the idea. Okay. Otherwise, DSA for data scientist roles, or there is another role in Amazon. We call it research science.
Okay.
So for these two roles, there it is not needed. DSA is not must. It is a good to have.
Okay. Okay. So I have another question. Is masters required to get a data science job?
No, not at all. But yeah, if either it can be a BTech degree, okay, or BE, okay, BE, BTech, or an MSc. Okay, so if somebody is doing a BSc, right, then for them it is little tough. Even I will not say that they will not get job. They can enter into the industry also, but sometimes problem happens with growth. Okay, going forward,
Yeah.
promotions, right? Then
Yeah.
they might want a master's, but only for the BSc candidates. Okay, like the people who are coming from mathematics, physics, chemistry, English, all those, right? So for them, BSc, BSc will might not be might work, but for the longer time, it might create some issues. So for them, MSc is must. But if somebody is a BTech, okay, or a BE, so engineering, so they can definitely come into this. But
Okay.
obviously, I will say
Yeah.
one thing like education today is very important, right?
Mm.
So going forward today, because suppose for my team, right, in my team, me and only one person are only masters. Okay. Others are all PhDs or more than that, post PhDs and all. So if somebody gets these degrees over a course of time, right, even continuing with the job, they can penetrate very well in this science community.
Okay.
Okay.
That's great. So, as someone deeply involved in AI and machine learning, what are the most
Hmm.
exciting trends you are seeing in the field right now? I mean, and how do you keep up with the trend?
Yeah, so for me, obviously, continuous learning, right? So it's an ever-changing field, correct? So when we started, then like we started with traditional statistical model, and we used to use R. Okay, by the way, as a software. Today,
Yeah.
I think nobody knows about that software. Well, nobody has heard about it, or very
R,
few people know about that R programming
R,
language.
yeah, R programming language. I've heard about it, but I
Okay.
haven't tried it.
Yeah, exactly. But when we started, it was like today's Python. Okay, it was the
Okay.
most popular language. Okay, and there was one more which is still there, which is called SAS. SAS is still used
Okay.
in the financial organization, the banks.
Never heard
But
about it.
today,
Yeah.
okay, SAS. Okay, SAS. You can see that. Okay, it's a paid software. A lot of things can be done. Okay, but today everybody either have not heard about it or not have tried it, right? So and everything today has become Python. So this is always a changing industry. Okay, so we need to also learn Python when Python came. Okay, otherwise we will become obsolete. Similarly, if you see when on the other side, the theory side, right? So when we started, it was only classical machine learning, then classical statistical models, then machine learning came in, then deep learning models came in, then you have all these and LSTM models. Now then you have transformers, right? So like
Yeah.
2 years back, people were talking about transformers. Today, nobody's talking about transformers. Everything is LLMs today.
Yeah,
Okay,
everything is LLM. Yes.
yeah,
And
everything
now,
LLM and generative AI, right?
yes.
So that is the projection, that is the trajectory. So whenever a new tech comes in, even if you don't know, you need to know about that. Okay, I was somewhere refraining from LLMs till last month. Okay, but my manager has given me a project on LLM, so now again I have to
Okay.
learn that. Okay,
Yeah,
so I've started learning that.
that's good.
So yeah, so that is the thing. So always, so you need to learn always. So I usually do a lot of courses. Okay, online everything is available, as I told you. So there are courses, materials, everything is available online. There are some books, but books I usually don't rely much because books don't change, because these technologies are
Yeah.
ever changing. That's why books cannot incorporate those changes, right? If you want to know a traditional thing or something which is little old, like SQL, somebody wants to learn, which is not changing today much, they can learn SQL or maybe Tableau or maybe Power BI. They might learn. But LLMs, if somebody learn today, uh, tomorrow a new thing will be added. Okay,
Yeah.
so these things, online learning is better because they always update their courses, and you always learn them. So these are the things. But yeah, but one more thing also which I want to highlight here, that so it is not like that today everything is generative AI. Without generative AI you cannot get a job. Okay, even there are demands for the traditional models. Okay, like XGBoost or even your time series analysis
Thanks,
optimization,
Luna.
there are scope for them. So it
Okay.
is not like that you only need LLM in your resume to
Hmm.
defend your, or get a job. It's not like that. Even if you are good in traditional machine learning and you're good in it, right, you will get a job, and you will get a good job in a very big product company. Okay,
Okay.
so without that, deep learning is must. It's not like that.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. So,
if yeah, so if you know deep learning, you should be good in it. That is it.
okay. So following the trend isn't compulsory. I mean, you can just stick with the roots and get a job by it. Right.
Yeah, means whatever you are learning, you should know it very well. That is the most important, and that we see lagging in a company. Okay, so
Hmm.
for my team, right, we have very little scope on LLMs, very little scope. Okay, means currently I'm working on a project, but that is only I am working in. The whole team, I'm the only person who's working in that. My entire team is an operations research team. So if you are good in optimization, you will get job in that. So that is the thing. But you need to know optimization very well. So that is the thing.
Yeah.
It is not like that the end of game for that, and like only for us. But when coming into interviews, we have seen, okay, people are writing in order to follow the trend. They're writing about LLMs and all, and you ask them two questions on basic deep learning, they will not be able to answer. Okay,
Yeah.
what you have done? I write prompts. Okay, prompt engineering. We have done
Yeah.
prompt engineering, right? But prompt engineering is also not
Uh,
LLM, right?
yeah.
Okay,
What's
so
happening behind the scenes that didn't
exactly,
understand
means
that.
suppose you are asking, okay, I am using GPT-4 model. Then what is the architecture of GPT-4
Yeah.
or GPT-3? Means you should know that. Then I can agree that okay, you know LLM. Okay,
Uh,
then what is the
with-
encoder decoder structure for that particular model, right? But suppose you're saying, oh, I have done, okay, I have used LLM. Okay, how you have used LLM? Prompt engineering. I have used that, call that model, and then I've done some prompts on top of it using Python and got the result. Maybe you have done that only. That is completely fine. But you have done that without understanding. That is not
mm,
going to work. Yeah.
yeah, they have completely abstracted what is happening behind the scenes, and this, and then they just wrote LLM in their resume without knowing how LLM works, how transform
Yeah, means the
architecture is working.
trajectory
Yeah.
you should know, right? So it is a trajectory, like it's a particular deep learning model. From deep
Mm.
learning, you are going into the transformer. From in the basically before transformer also you have the encoder decoder architecture, right? So after that you should know transformer. Then you should know that how LLMs have been used. So this entire journey one should be knowing. If he's saying that I am writing LLM in my resume, not prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is how you have done it, but
Yeah.
uh, but how will you know that that is the best LLM model and the other models are not good for your use case? So these things needed to be there. Okay. So better than that, if you somebody knows logistic regression, which is the most basic form of a model, right? But he knows it very well. With that also, he can get into a product company.
Okay, that's
Okay.
great. I mean, yeah, folks, everyone is out there just learning LLMs and just doing API calls and mentioning the term LLM and applying for jobs.
Yeah, means they are just doing API calls. Well, most of them, even I am doing the same thing. Okay, by the way. So for my project, I'm doing Bedrock. Amazon, from the
Bedrock,
Amazon Bedrock,
Amazon
I'm
Bedrock.
calling Amazon Bedrock. There are tons of LLM models inside it, and I'm calling an API, and I'm just running, and I'm doing something like a sentiment, like a
Analysis,
text classification. Text
text
classification we're
classification.
doing. Yeah, text classification. So it is doing the text classification for me. But the problem is that that is not you. But how will you know that with that whether that
Hmm.
model is the best model or not? Okay.
Without know the how the model works, it is
Yeah.
not possible, right?
Correct. Correct.
So, in 2025, data analysis is also booming, right? So
Yes.
if someone is finding data science as overwhelming, can they start
Hmm.
learning about data analyst and being a data analyst and then moving into the data science like you
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
You started out as data analyst and then moved into data science. Can they do it in 2025?
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, that is completely possible. Okay, and that is good actually. Means even because data science has it is little tough because it has the
Yeah,
mathematics flavor in it, right? And I told you just now, just prompt engineering type of things, it is not going to get you job. Okay, you need to know the architecture very well. Okay, so I mean, even in one place, some of the places of some I talked to somebody, they asked them to write the entire architecture of a model. Okay,
okay.
somebody has given me that feedback. Okay, and it's a big product company, big one of the biggest product company. Okay, so that is the thing. So here, the thing is, yes, if they do not feel that it is not, they are not been able to digest everything, it is completely fine because we have it takes time. We have taken 2 years, 2.5 years, and even today learning. Okay, so even after 9 years, it is not that we know everything. Okay, nine and a half years. So they can start off with data analyst. Okay, they can start with SQL. So the bare minimum obviously is SQL, Excel, Python, at least the basic data manipulations, Python, and any one visualization tool, either Tableau or Power BI, any one visualization tool. I think that is more than enough. So if they can know at least these part, I think, and Tableau Power BI also I will not take because it is easy to learn.
Yeah, it's
The
easy.
remaining ones are little, they might need to put some effort. But if they're able to learn at least this, they can start off with a job by the data analyst or a business analyst role, and then maybe switch on to a data science after learning the statistics or the machine learning and the maths and all the other concepts.
So I have another question related to data science. So if someone is learning about CNN, RNN, LSTM, GRU, and all stuffs, so
Hmm.
do you recommend learning from writing? Because there are various already libraries out there from sklearn, TensorFlow. Do you recommend writing creating the architecture from scratch using Python, building it as how the library has implemented behind the scenes? You just build it from scratch. Do you
Yeah,
recommend that?
today. Yeah. So I will always recommend that, because even because you cannot build like GPT, okay, because
Yeah.
it needs that infrastructure, right? But the thing is, even today in interviews, there is a part in the coding, okay, for data science it is
Okay.
there. It
Okay.
is called machine coding, okay, or
Okay, machine
pseudo
code.
coding, okay.
Pseudo.
So what is machine coding or pseudo coding? It means that there we always ask the candidate to write an ML algorithm from scratch, but it will not be XGBoost. It's not like, so they should not fear like that they will be asking any ML algorithms, or they will not be asking the GPT or something like that. It's not like that. They will be asked to code a simple and medium size ML algorithm. Okay,
Yeah.
just like I can give example like
Lin-
gradient descent,
Linear. Yeah, it can even be
linear
linear
regression.
regression. Yeah.
Exactly. Gradient descent, you with using gradient descent, you just
Yeah.
create uh, that one, right? The weights. You just
Yeah.
compute the weights of a
Updating the
linear
weights.
regression model,
Yeah.
update the
Updating the
weights,
weights.
right? So of there, or you can use OLS estimation, or
Yeah.
maybe k-means clustering. That
K-means
k-means is
cluster.
actually is an easy algorithm,
Yeah.
right?
Also.
K-means,
Also
k-means
K nearest
clustering.
neighbors. K nearest neighbors.
K nearest neighbors, right? Exactly. K nearest neighbors, you can also write. So these are the easier algorithms, right? So that kind of grid search. Okay,
Great
this
search.
is
CV.
another, yeah, grid search using grid search or CV, right? Cross validation. So these type of things, so without using that grid search CV package,
Huh?
you write the grid search. You maybe train 3 to 4 layers of hyperparameter. Then that is asked in interviews today. RFE,
Okay.
recursive feature elimination. Okay, I'm giving some use cases. So these type of questions are asked. Single layer neural network, one layer of forward propagation, one backward propagation. Okay, with any custom loss function. Okay, so these type of things it is asked. Okay, today it is asked in the interviews, so they should know about this. Okay.
Okay. So that's great. So can you share a challenging problem you have solved at Amazon and how did you approach it? A very challenging
So
problem.
I will say a challenging problem, not a challenging problem in Amazon. Okay,
Okay,
I think
okay.
that
Then
that is a
that
better
would
one.
be okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that would be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Cool. So specifically, it happened in my past organization in ITC. Okay. Um, and there, why I sharing this, because today in Amazon when we work, right, we are using lot of infrastructure. Okay. That is why I'm saying that none of them is a challenging problem. Okay, because you will be using AutoML. Okay. So if you have very good sense, at least on the basics, it is fine. Okay. But when we used to work in ITC, I used to tell this, that I used to build a Taj Mahal with Chhani and Hathora kind of thing. Okay, because that was the ask. We didn't have
Okay.
any infrastructure, nothing there, because a simple 8 GB to 16 GB RAM computer, and you need to build a solution which is at par with then Amazon. Okay, that is the challenge. Okay, so we were building something where the problem statement was like this: that you need to send some offers to to customers who have never bought beauty products, but you need to send them recommendations of a beauty products. Okay,
Okay.
and my tenure at that moment was only 2 years, with almost 2 years, less than 2 years. So my maturity level was not like that, but I might have today, because I have 9 years experience now. I'm solved lots of problems in this years. So then it was a very difficult. So I didn't know how to solve them, right? So we have gone through different papers, and then I learned about recommendation engine. Okay, and so then from the recommendation engine, then I formulated the problem that, okay, let's take these for these customers. Let's take the other what others products they are buying, and we will create a product similarity with the customers who have bought both these beauty products and the other products. Okay, and based on that we will recommend. So then we have thought of create a collaborative filtering model, and then collaborative filtering was very popular in recommendation engine space, and we only had the infrastructure of using that. Today there are auto encoders, ALS models, but
Mm.
at that moment it was not there. So then uh, what we have done is that we started implementing the solution. Next challenge, there was a in R. I told you we were using R language.
Mm.
In R, there was a package called Recommender Lab, which used to do the same thing. We have given them that model this entire data. The model data has around 10 million rows. and you have around 40, I have drilled down around 40 to 50 columns, which is having contributing to around 80% of the sales. So those we have created 80 columns, and 20 beauty products were there out of them. Okay, 20, 30 products. So then when we have put it under the package, right? The package broke. So
Okay.
it couldn't build anything for us. Okay. Then there was a blog, you guys can see, it's called by Salem Marafi. Okay.
Okay.
Salem Marafi. So Salem Marafi. Then we started looking at that what is done. And exactly I've done machine coding. Means at that moment, that's why I told you, it was, we have done it then 2016, 2017, we have done machine coding at that moment. Entirely written the package from scratch. Okay. And in only one night. Okay. The entire collaborative filtering, because we need to deliver next day. Okay. So we thought that, okay, recommender lab will work and it will take less time. But since it does not work, we need to switch our gears. Through a whole night, I have to like stay awake and write the code for them using vectorizations. So we use, there is something called vectorization, and in linear algebra, there is a term which is called broadcasting. Okay. So
Broadcasting.
if you use
Okay.
broadcasting and linear algebra libraries, there is something called broadcasting. Broadcasting helps you to do everything parallelly. If you use NumPy, or your guys who are little technical, they will say use NumPy. You will see that whenever you are adding, suppose on a NumPy array, it is adding everything parallel. It is much faster.
Yeah.
But if you do it on a list, right, it is sequential. It will go every element
Sequential.
one by one, right? Recommender lab was sequential, but we have used the
Okay.
broadcasting, use matrix multiplication, and the traditional linear algebra models. We convert it to like code using linear algebra, and then we could have achieved with the same infrastructure, same capacity. We achieved the results. We deployed the campaign based on that, and the thing is that we have been able to generate 5% incremental sales with this, which is good. We are a recommendation engine, because these people have never bought anything, right? And still you're sending them campaign and they're coming and buying the products. So looking at that, their competitors were, by the way, we are doing it for a South African retailer. So
Okay.
their competitors, by the way, were also um, our client, and I'm only working there. Okay, in both the products I'm working, but nobody knew. Okay, because this is a policy by the company that you should not disclose the name of the clients. So we were not saying that. Okay, so now these people also came and told that, okay, my competitor has done something on the beauty products. They have got some insider news from somewhere, and they asked, why can't we do that? So the
Hmm.
product manager was same, everybody was same, right? So they told him, yeah, we can definitely do it. You just give us time. It's just like same person is building those both the things.
Yeah.
So that was very challenging, because it was challenging in every aspect. Okay.
That's great. I mean, that's a nice story. That's a nice challenge. I mean, how you solved the challenge was great. So, I have another question. Many beginners struggle with imposter syndrome in tech. Did you ever experience this? How did you overcome it?
Means
Yeah.
I didn't get it by imposter syndrome.
Okay, imposter syndrome happens when there are various experts around you, and you are a very beginner in your domain, and
Hmm,
by the things they say, you feel overwhelmed, and
hmm.
think that they know very much. You feel a
Okay.
inferiority complex in you.
Understood.
It's
Understood. No, 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 no,
yeah.
no, no. So this is, I always have been made it in the reverse way. Okay. So
Okay.
I always want to be in a place where everybody is better than me. Okay.
Okay.
Because I can learn from them. Okay. And if I learn something from them, right, always have this, because you're a learner always at any point. You should not lose your learning, that attitude. Okay. You're always a learner. So even if you have 10 years of work, okay, even if you are 9 years of work, so even and that I have felt from my seniors also. Okay. So from some of my managers who were there in some of the organization, who might not be updated with these changes, right? So but when I talk to them, right, they never felt like that. Okay, so they felt that, okay, he's always a knowledgeable person, so why I should feel the same, right? So I,
Yeah.
when I am surrounded by people who knows better than me, and that happened really in my ITC days. When I went there, right, I saw that everybody knows better than me. Okay. So I thought, okay, how I can be better. So I used to sit with them. Okay. I used to see, look at their codes. I used to do their code vetting. Okay. Means, So have written the course. I should check their course that whether they've written correct or not. I should take that code. I have to sit, always try to see that what they are doing, what they are thinking, right? And specifically, it helps you to steal their knowledge some way, and you get better. And that is
Hmm.
always there. So in order to get better, you should always stay with people who knows better than you. If you are the person who is getting, you will get growth. I can tell you, means that is completely fine. You will get growth, you will get promotions every day. But the problem is that it is not good for the short term, but not for the longer term. Okay, longer term you will get saturated. Okay, you will see a point then when you will see that, okay, your company is not giving you much hike,
Hmm.
they have given you the highest capacity, and you are not been able to switch because now you want to switch and you cannot switch, so you are not getting growth in your current company. Everybody's patting your back, that is completely fine. But you are not, but inside you are feeling that, okay, no, I am not at my best place. Okay, so that
So,
that should not be there. Yeah.
so you have to keep with the growth mindset. You have to keep building the growth mindset. I mean,
Yes.
you have to
Yes.
stay a constant learner every day. Not
Every time you are always a knowledge based industry. If you have
yeah,
knowledge, you will get money. That is as simple as that. Knowledge is proportional to money. So if you have knowledge, you can definitely get money. So if you want to get knowledge, you have to stay with people, know what is the state of the art thing happening,
mm,
and how. That is why I told you earlier that students should do Kaggle competitions. Why? Again, the same thing. There, everybody will be better than him. When somebody
uh,
enters Kaggle, right? Everybody, even for the Kaggle grandmasters, it is the same thing. Today, the people who are the best in the world,
yeah, yeah,
even if you see their interviews, they will also say that when we started, we felt that we know nothing. But that is the journey that from
yeah,
them they have learned, and from them they have understood that what are the different things, and from then they can scale up themselves. So this is very important. Otherwise, people might pat your back, but you should always judge whether you are worth it for it or not. If not, then otherwise your growth will become outside that company, right? They don't know you. Okay, they don't know you. Suppose they don't know you, who is Shubhodip Mukherjee of Amazon, in Amazon, what he's doing, they don't know you. They might expect a lot from you again. And if you don't, if they see, okay, you do not know basics because you have done only shitty works, right? That should not that will not be good for your long term growth. Okay, so then it's like not like feeling. Even I will say one more thing, like a lot of people might face about like performance and all these things. These are not, I will say, it's not like school or college, right? Then you need to come first always. Okay, you need to be always above a particular threshold. Means throughout your career you will get good hike. Okay, if you try to become first or second, it is not going to work.
okay, someone has unmute the
Yeah.
participant. I'm muting her. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Ore, for answering all those questions. It was very nice to know the answers of all the questions. I mean, it's great. And also, let's ask the audience if they have any questions or not. Let's sum up this session, this podcast.
Mhm.
Audience, if you have folks in the audience, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask him. Yuli, Masum, Hers, you can ask questions. Rupam, if you have any doubts, any problem in data science, AI, machine learning, you can ask him. Okay, I guess the folks are not having any question.
Everybody is watching the match.
They are watching the match, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I guess. So so no questions, right? So let's sum up this session. Thanks, Subhodeep, for joining. Thanks
Thank you.
for finding time out of your busy schedule to spend time with us to answer all those questions. It was really nice meeting you. If possible, let's meet in person in Kolkata someday. It would be
Sure,
great.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, sure,
Yeah, to know you in person. That would be great.
sure.
So, what was the last time you arrived at Kolkata?
Okay, I went there, I think, in January. Yeah, end of January, and beginning of February came back. I think I will be going there again in March. Sorry, May. Okay,
Okay,
so in the month of May. So let's see. Okay.
let's say, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Thanks, Subhodeep. Thanks for Subhodeep for joining. Bye, everyone. Bye, Subhodeep.
Bye.
Tata.
Thank you.